So last night was quite a storm. Around 2 o'clock in the morning, there was a lot of thunder and lightning, and the rain was just coming down in buckets. We lost power, uh, but it was good though. I was disappointed because we drove through a rainstorm in Brantford. We had to go to Brantford yesterday evening. We drove through a really heavy rain pour that I couldn't even see the road barely. I was considering whether or not to stop. And I was so disappointed when I got back to Simcoe and it was just dry. Because the garden, I don't want to water the garden, but it's been so hot lately that I was about to relent. But we got this downpour, which is great. So the garden is happy. I'm happy. Knocked out power at my place, maybe at your place too. So I had to get up and turn off some lights. I've got some weird lights that when the power comes back on, whether it's the surge or something, there are lights that just come on. One of which is the stained glass that Jack made for me. But anyway, so I got up and I turned off all the lights and went back to bed. And I just couldn't get back to sleep. So I was tossing and turning and to and fro. And there's a great line in Proverbs. It's kind of one of my favorites. Basically, it says, "As the door turns on its hinges, so does the sluggard in his bed." And basically, what it's saying is that when we're lazy and in bed and tossing and turning, for all our effort and all our moaning and groaning and thrashing around, we're not getting any further than a door turning on its hinge, right? We're not actually getting anywhere and accomplishing anything. So as I tossed and turned and tossed and turned, I thought, well, I'm not sleeping, nor am I doing anything, so I ought to just get up. So I could hear that Kyungsoo was not actually sleeping either. She was kind of tossing and turning. And I could even hear Noah making some noise in the other room. So I gathered them up and we all snuck downstairs and we sat in the dark with the cat, who was a little bit freaked out by this change of routine. And we had ice cream at 4 o'clock in the morning. And it was great. It was fantastic. It was a wonderful moment and a good way to start the day. Maybe not every day, but certainly today it was a nice way to start. So as I came in to work a little bit later on, I was kind of trying to think, there's got to be something in the Bible to justify having ice cream at 4 o'clock in the morning because it's a good thing. We quite enjoyed it. So I was trying to find a way to, take away a little bit of that. Maybe we shouldn't have that for breakfast. But you know what? There's actually nothing in the Bible. There's nothing about ice cream that I could find at all, surprisingly. And nothing about ice cream in the middle of the night either. But I did find this. In Ecclesiastes, the teacher writes, "There's nothing better than to be happy and enjoy ourselves as long as we can. And people should eat and should drink and should enjoy the fruits of their labor because these are gifts from God." So that made me feel a little bit better because I thought, yeah, that was a gift of God, that a little bit of kind of quiet, special time in the morning with my family, eating junk food. And the writer in Ecclesiastes, he continues and he says it's good for people to eat, to drink, to enjoy their work under the sun during the short life that God has given them, and to accept their lot in life. And I think he expands that a little bit more, that not only should we enjoy those simple pleasures, but accepting our lot means, we don't necessarily need to shake our fist at the sky and rail against things that cannot change, right? So enjoy the little things that we have. And then further, he says, make sure you enjoy those little things rather than desiring what you don't have. So what I had this morning, I think was quite a little treasure, right? I had Kyungsoo, I had Noah, I had a roof over my head, and I had ice cream, and I had peace. And that's enough. And I'm grateful. That's a wonderful way to start the day. So as you start your day, I then pose the question to you. What are you grateful for this morning? And what are those little things that are bringing you pleasure right now?